Dan, how did you use media technologies in the production, research, planning and evaluation stages?
So during the research stage, we needed to find out a bit about the hip hop genre as a whole. We used YouTube basically to look at existing hip hop videos. SBTV was a good channel to use as they have kind of homegrown hip hop as opposed to mainstream. And then we had Google Images that allowed us to compile posts, compile or gather images to go into our blog posts, which would then analyze these images that we found. We used Blogger to put these posts together and basically track our research stage. Moving then on to the planning stage for our video, we needed to find first of all a song to base our video around. The websites that we used was SoundCloud, as it offers a lot of copyright-free songs. So we basically used this website to get in contact with the artist and select a song that we liked and work for us. It allows you to search by category, so you can find different songs which are a bit different, not just hip hop, but also incorporate different elements from other music genres. And then we had, once we got in contact with them, it was important to track that obviously on the blog again, so every stage comes back to the blog. Google Blogger is really useful as it allows you to quickly insert images and text very quickly and then update it regularly, which is always important when you're trying to blog. There was also, in the later stages after we made the video, we needed to find out about adverts, and we basically then went on to use Twitter and Facebook and searched artists who are already known who use these websites as forms of advertising. A good example would be Ayaz, who I have done a post about and have used as an example. So we also then, during our research stages, we looked at different things. During the planning stages, we used the iPhone. One of our group members has an iPhone, so we used that to not only take pictures of possible locations, possible props that we're going to use, but also to get in contact with each other through Facebook and phone calling. And then we had, and that's another point, is that we use Facebook again to bring the group together. Even when we weren't together in the room, we could still be together and communicating through a group page that I created through Facebook. So obviously Google is a really powerful search engine, as you can basically type in anything and find exactly what you want to find. So that really made things quick and easy for us to get inspiration, pictures and text, and find out about the genre even better. Then we had, in the construction of our video, we needed to use a camera. Now we realised from very early on that we weren't going to be able to use our hands to film it, so we needed to also incorporate a tripod. The camera we used was called a Canon HD camcorder, provided by the school, so was the tripod. We then went out to film. After we'd filmed, we came back, put the footage on this Mac, and we used Final Cut to piece it all together and chop down the bits and make it all run smoothly and look good. Now, some of the features that Final Cut, which is a piece of software on the Mac, allows us to do with the footage is add effects, imports the song track itself. So we basically, some of the effects that we used were, there was like a green overwash and also a vignette. We then added transitions, which made the video seem more professional and run a lot smoother. We also we were able to, I mean, I haven't used this Final Cut before, so it's amazing how quickly I picked it up in like pretty much a year, so that was pretty good. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. We also downloaded some fonts using DaFont. If you go back to DaFont.com, it was pretty easy to find loads of fonts. There's loads of fonts to choose from, but it was pretty easy to find. It's all searched by category again, so you can just click on one category and find it. So yeah, that was the construction stages. Also, I would add, in the construction stage we used a lot of props, such as lighting. The school provided us with 2 lighting rigs, both sat on their own little tripods, and we also used the stage in the drama hall, which we did need to configure to make it good. And we also used, as our white backdrop, we also used a projector screen, which was big enough to look like a white wall but not actually be a white wall. So as part of a sort of an auxiliary task, I suppose, I put on myself, I created a Facebook page and also a possible header design using Photoshop. And plus, alongside those, we also as a group created the Digipack design using Photoshop. Photoshop I found really easy to use, and I really enjoyed using it. The Digipack is still ongoing, however, it's been a really good experience using Photoshop, just something I'm quite comfortable with. So I would say some of the features we used in Photoshop would be cropping, which I don't usually use, and using effects such as the graphic pen, and also a black and white effect, which helped give this gritty effect, and also the black and white colour scheme is something we're going to be carrying on through the Digipack design. Our font that we used was called New. That's like N-O-E-U, and that I felt captured the hip hop genre quite well. It was sort of a modern take on the usual fonts. And moving on then to evaluation stages, again Blogger came into play, where it allowed us to evaluate our progress easily, because we can switch between past posts using an archive tool, and we can also then switch back to our post that we're writing in using the tab function at the top of the screen, which makes the whole experience very easy and intuitive again. So we also used, whilst editing through Photoshop, I would say that we also used YouTube. We incorporated YouTube to help us understand how to make these little effects happen and how to make it all come together. So YouTube, we utilised YouTube in order to teach us about certain things we weren't clear of to start with. So that helped a lot, I would say.